Now up is Noa Gutow-Ellis, a sophomore from the ESASemeryWeiner School. She will be giving a presentation about the importance of learning for the sake of learning. Let's give a round of applause to Noa.
Wouldn't it be great if you woke up excited to go to school because you knew that you would be learning about something that you found interesting? Well, this September, TEDx was being introduced at a local middle school. The technology integrationist explained that the students' topic was to be of their choice. The faces in the audience were contemplative, and everyone appeared a tad thrown off. One girl raised her hand and confirmed. "Anything?" she asked. "Anything. It's your talk. You get to choose," the teacher replied. The students could not believe that there was no teacher assigning them a topic, nobody to tell them exactly how their presentation should go, and nobody evaluating their work after the presentation. After the TEDx introduction, the teacher asked if there were any questions. For a solid 15 minutes, hands shot up from students in awe of what they had just heard. A solid 25% of the questions asked were students looking for some sort of affirmation that they were completely free to learn about something solely because they found it interesting. Clearly, and unfortunately, learning for the sake of learning is an anomaly in this society. Students spend their entire day in school, but the way our schools run now does not allow students the intellectual freedom to pursue their interests. As I think you'll see, there's a direct correlation between our old-fashioned system and the scarcity of a love for learning. Our schools today are based off of the first school system established during the Industrial Revolution. Come to school early, sit in a desk all day, do as you're told, memorize facts, and go home to prepare for the next day. This monotonous system was created to get children out of harm's way in factories. Schools told companies that the kids would leave school better listeners and be better prepared for working in factories because they would be trained to sit still and do as they were told. Industrialized schooling may have been the best option at one point in time, but it's not anymore. Students spend their entire day in school, and we're living in a world that's not full of textbooks and methods of memorizing dates. This way of learning isn't going to cut it anymore. The types of jobs that students were and still are being prepared for are not in demand anymore. It's estimated that there are only around 600,000 of these tradable jobs left in America. Look, every year, millions of students are released into the real world, prepared by school for jobs where they are told exactly what to do and when to do it. But these are the types of jobs that our world is straying away from because we have the technology to cost-effectively replace them. In fact, did you know that 65% of kids today will end up in careers that do not exist yet? 10 years ago, would you have ever imagined that somebody could create an interactive website with enough users to be considered the 5th largest country in the world? Our world is changing, from the cars we drive to the maps we use. Technology has revolutionized the way we interact with the world around us. The cars we drive, the maps we use, nothing's the same. Why isn't the way we learn evolving along with the rest of the world? The internet has forever changed the way we access information. People used to exchange information over the telephone, one person to one person. Then the radio gave one person the power to distribute information to many other people. Now, the internet gives many people the power to distribute information to many other people. Our society has evolved from obtaining information individually to working with others to read, write, contemplate, discuss, and argue over ideas. Schools must make this transition too. We are past being lectured at by a teacher. The world is not the same today as it was during the Industrial Revolution, and schools need to catch up. We need independent, critical, creative, rebellious thinkers. As Steve Jobs said, the ones who are crazy enough to change the world are the ones that do. Today, we need students to have an intellectual freedom to learn something new just because. If we continue to let our education system run the way it's running today, we'll never get another iPhone, another Mars rover, or a solution to eradicating hunger or cancer or poverty. Kids today are taught that the right way to think is to do exactly what others tell you to do and to do it well. But there is no right way to think. That's what's so great about thinking. Nobody can tell you how to do it. So it's quite a problem that we're putting students in this box where they only think about how to solve for X or how to best memorize historical dates just to take a test. By the year 2020, there will be 65 to 70 million people freelancing, consulting, or doing some type of individual work. That's 4 times what exists today. Kids need to be taught how to think for themselves, not for a test. When kids are allowed the intellectual freedom to pursue their interests, the outcome can be greater than anything expected of them on a test. Thomas Suarez, a 12-year-old, taught himself to build iPhone apps not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Jordan Romero was 15 when he reached his goal of climbing the highest mountain on every continent, a task not done for a letter grade, but because he loved to climb. Schools need to teach kids to find their own Everest and go after it. Closer to home, I have seen firsthand the impact of letting students pursue their interests. Last year, the 8th grade global studies class at my school was doing a unit on Africa. Mr. Stern had found a school in Sierra Leone and intended for his students to have a pen-pal relationship with the children in the village. After realizing how different life in a third world country is, Mr. Stern's students founded a campaign called Educate the Children of Sierra Leone, a project that went above and beyond any lesson plan. They raised thousands of dollars and sent refurbished cameras and computers to the school. Let's take a look.
Education isn't just about getting good grades in school. It's about understanding the world around us and using that knowledge to help others. Well, a group of local 8th graders have figured that out, and they're using what they've learned to make a difference.
It's been an incredible thing. I've never seen kids so passionate.
Ben Stern's 8th grade global studies class does more than learn about people in other countries. They're helping people in other countries learn.
By the way, they surpassed their fundraising goal of $5,000. These kids will be better prepared not only for the workforce, but to be citizens of the world. So here's what I'm proposing. We need more TED. We need more teachers willing to let kids find and pursue their passions. We need to stop teaching kids how to take a test and instead teach them how to learn about what they love. If students are taught the proper way to answer a multiple choice question, they're not learning to think critically, develop new ideas, or delve into their interests where they could make significant contributions to the world. After all, when you love what you do it well. What I've learned from TED is that those who have had the freedom to explore their interests have some important, timely things to say that could ultimately affect our world. If students are taught to have a firm understanding of universal concepts such as grammar, arithmetic, and citizenship, when they get to middle school, we can take the chains off and allow them to pursue their own interests. The way students are taught now does not leave room for them to show what they are truly capable of. When they are allowed the intellectual freedom that extends beyond being taught to perform at a certain level on a test, students can go above and beyond any national standard. Schools should encourage students to find their interests and passions and pursue them, not just pursue getting an A on the test. So I'd like to leave you with what I started with. Wouldn't it be great if your school day was structured around your interests? Thank you.